What's up, you guys? Welcome to Matters Arising with T-Bank. So, you guys, I haven't been able to bring myself to do this commentary on Pastor Ezekiel Atang because I've been in shock, especially the fact that it happened around my birthday, and I couldn't just bring myself to listen or watch. Like, it was very devastating for me. I first came in contact with Reverend Ezekiel Atang over 15 years ago. I was a student pastor at the time, and we were organizing a relationship seminar, and somebody suggested his name, and so we invited him. He came to our campus. We had to were like the what they call these people now that take care of pastors. So we were the ones in charge of his accommodation, his general well-being. And as at 15 years ago, he sat on the floor in a hotel room with us, gisted with us, spoke to us, encouraged us as leaders. And I remember buying cartons of his book then to sell on campus, and because of the impression he left in my mind. After then, it's been a while. I really haven't been following his ministry closely, but that was the encounter that I had with him, and he was such a humble man of God. And I'll never forget Reverend Ezekiel. I remember recently, I think a month or 2 months ago, I was just like, where's Pastor Ezekiel? Is he on Instagram? Is he on social media? That was the last time I really checked up on him, and we now heard this devastating news. And the more I read about it, the more I listen to videos about his final moment, I really pray that the Lord comforts his wife, Dr. Dara Atang, and his church family. I keep asking myself that could this have been avoided? A lot of times pastors stress themselves and put themselves on a lot of stress to take care of God's sheep, but we sometimes fail to forget that as human beings, we are spirit, soul, body. One dimension is not more important than the other dimension. Our spiritual well-being is just equally as important as our soulish well-being, okay? And our soulish well-being is as important as our bodily well-being. So we need to take care of our physical bodies. I have listened to his final moments on the earth, and from his own personal account on how he struggled with his health, and I was just like, God, this must have been a heart attack, because he was traveling, and Nigerian roads are bad. The stress of it all, and I was talking with someone, and I was telling the person about how I listened to many years ago, I think over 20 years ago, Joel Austin, saying that he made a conscious decision not to have like an itinerary ministry. I know not everybody can do that because of finances and all of that, because a lot of pastors, this is how they work for their money, because when they go on itinerary ministrations, they get honorariums and all of that. But because of the stress involved, that is even in a country where you have good roads, where you can take a flight to any part of the country or take a helicopter or anything, and you can be at different locations on the same day, and take a jet from any part of the country, and you get where you are going to. And he said that he decided that instead of that, this hope of, I've forgotten the name of the tour that they do. So they do like a tour around America with his entire family, because at the time his children were quite young. So they have a time of the year. So if you love Joel Austin so much, you want to listen to him live, you have to come for that event. Do you get? And they schedule it so it's like one per state. So when he's coming for that event, that is when he's coming for the event with their entire church team, their ministry team, and all of that, to reduce the stress, because men of God go through a lot of stress. I know that a lot of times people would say they are faithing it, now you know how we Christians can be, and And there are some things you hear. Some people don't take care of their health. Some men of God, if you know any man of God that you are close to, encourage them to go for medical checkup. It does not mean that they don't have faith. It does not mean that they are not children of God. You are just being pragmatic, okay? Because your physical body is also as important as your spiritual body. If I read this book, God's General, many years ago, and these were the same issues of how most men of people in ministry neglect their physical bodies. God has given us, He has promised us long life and all of that, but it's not just follow come. It's not, you also have to play your part. Our diet, our doing exercises, checking yourself, going for medical checkup doesn't mean that you don't have faith or you are not a man or woman of faith. It just shows that you are being pragmatic. So when I heard this story of how Pastor Ezekiel was struggling with chest pain, I felt so, because this is a gift that has just been lost. Before God will find a replacement for Pastor Ezekiel, it's going to take time. I'm not saying that there are no people who talk about relationships and all of that, but from his own perspective. So I'm begging our pastors, our ministry gifts, please take care of your health. Please don't overstress yourself. You see, that's why I personally have issues with certain expressions of ministry that we are seeing these days. I'm not saying it's bad, coming for devotions every day, it's fantastic, but this is a question I keep asking myself, that is this not stressful? Is this not too much stress on the body? These are questions that I've legitimately asked myself, and sometimes I can't share these things. This is my space to express a lot of questions in my heart, because if you go and say this one, some people will say that you are not being spiritual, or you don't want God to bless people, because whether you like it or not, as this man, his own journey has ended, God has 10,000 more children that will fill in that space, and there will be other expressions where people will go and listen to relationship talks. So I don't know, I just feel like too much stress on the human body. We need to make time for rest. Pastors need to take time out to rest. Take time out in a year. That's why I love Pastor Samade Emil. They will go for their vacation. They will go for that vacation. They will go for it, without feeling guilty, because you cannot come and use people's problem to kill yourself. I feel so terrible. I don't even know. I wanted not to do this video, but as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, why? Human being problem, they finish. They finish at all. As they solve one problem, now some another problem they happen. I just feel like if any pastor is going to stumble on this video, take out time to rest. Let rest be part of your schedule. Take out time to go for medical checkup. Have nutritionists. You see, I was telling somebody yesterday, the person was like, oh, Kenneth Copeland is it. I said, as far back when I was a child of 10, 11, I used to watch Kenneth Copeland, their personal nutritionist. I've forgotten the man's name. He started all this intermittent fasting thing, keto diet, as at early 2000s. These people take care of their physical body, because we are custodians of our physical bodies. As much as the spiritual is very important, our physical body is a vessel. So we need to take care of this vessel that God has given to us. This is my commentary, and I thank God and celebrate the lifetime of Pastor Ezekiel. He has done his own part. He has run his race. He has served the Lord in his generation. It is now left for those of us that are alive to pick up from where they've stopped and to move on in the direction God has called us to. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button. Please join this family. Subscribe to this channel. I create commentaries, faith-based commentaries, and faith-based content on this channel. My name is Temitope Banks. Thank you so much. I will see you in my next one. Bye.